want to get your reaction on what the CDC is doing. They reportedly published some information about data on COVID and hospitalizations and vaccines and the numbers, and they based it down to age and race and vaccine status. Well, they withheld some information, apparently.
Most of it.
Yes, they only reported a fraction of it. They didn't report that 18 to 49-year-olds, the group least likely to benefit from these extra booster shots. Why do you think they left that out? They're saying because it's not ready for prime time. What's the real reason?
I think because it goes against their public narrative. I think because it goes against their public guidance, for the same reason that Dr. Fauci told people not to wear masks. Before then, he said everybody had to wear a mask, and then you had to wear 2 masks, and then 2 masks and a face shield and a spacesuit, because I think they can tell us whatever they want. The damage they have done to public health authorities in this country is extraordinary. You know, in the future, we're going to have another pandemic potentially, far worse than COVID potentially, and no one's going to believe these guys because they've treated us like little children, lied to us, manipulated us, told us what we wanted to hear in some cases and not what we wanted to hear in others. And it's just done tremendous damage to people's confidence in public health officials.
That's exactly right. Senator, speaking of treating people like children, in many cases, kids are still in masks while adults are not. In some schools, it's incredible. And we've seen hypocrisy at the highest levels of political leaders imposing mask mandates on their citizens while they flout those rules themselves. Well, there's a very particular instance in Virginia at a school board meeting where a mother went to the meeting and pointed out the fact that the school board chairwoman who is in charge of the masking isn't wearing a mask herself. Here's a portion of what this Virginia mom, Alicia Vaught, said when tearing into school board members on their mask hypocrisy. Take a listen.
Picture of you right here on Facebook with a crowd of people.
That's it.
With no mask on. This is my time and I don't
No.
interrupt you. Here's another picture.
No.
With you with a no mask on.
I'm sorry, Ms. Vaught, you are done. Can we have a police officer, please?
She should be able to say her piece. I've had to listen to people come and criticize me.
That doesn't make it right, Jamie.
You're right, but I had to say.
That's my family. That is all. Then fine.
What do you think about our family?
I am not.
Our family is being suffocated to death.
I'm done.
Policies.
You can have my seat.
We're coming for them, all of them. Except Jen and Jamie.
Senator, we had that mom on the program as well. We're going to play a clip of the interview we did earlier. Listen.
We had to sit there and listen to them tell us that we must follow Governor Northam's orders, and we did. Then when Governor Youngkin comes into office and expects the same, they didn't want to follow his orders, and that's just not right. And what are we teaching our kids if we're not going to teach them to be consistent across the board? We, the parents, are just fed up with the hypocrisy. Our kids have had to suffer for 2 years. These masks have caused isolation, depression. It hurts their ears, their face have been broken out. It's just been such a harm to our kids. And then we see these school board members get on and just flaunt openly with no mask on, and it just seems a little bit hypocritical. So I thought that the board needed to know that. Senator, your reaction?
Well, this is not atypical. I mean, there's still places in this country where kids are eating outdoors in the cold and they can't talk during lunch. And I think probably in many cases, these people want to keep these policies in place because it makes their life easier, they think, and because it's become a disease. This whole mask mandates, all this other stuff has become its own disease. People have become deranged about it and they don't know how to live without it. And I also think there are some people that just enjoy the power, right? The power to be able to force people to do certain things. It is I don't fully understand this disease, but it's a psychotic one. And unfortunately, some of the people who have caught it are in positions of authority. And that I couldn't see the video, but I'm sure it showed this police officer was standing right next to that lady, standing right next to that mother, as if he was about to apprehend her. You know, I wish one of these officers would one day say, look, I'm here to keep the peace. I'm not here to arrest, law-abiding people that are just here to, protest against school boards. I don't know if that individual or that officer worked for a city or worked for the school board directly. But I think this is outrageous that we're now living in a country where parents who complain about their kids' schools are being treated like terrorists and criminals. Meanwhile, criminals are walking into stores, breaking glass, grabbing whatever they want, walking out. And they're not only not arrested, we're bailing out people that are trying to kill people in this country. Guy down in Kentucky walks into his opponent's office, shoots him, and he's out on bail a day later, $100,000 bail, a day later walking the streets. So that's how crazy it's become.
Well, they're not having those problems with the schools there in Florida where obviously Marco Rubio is just showing off the beautiful weather in Florida while we're here where it's freezing.
Yeah. Well, it's tough. You know, it's 70 degrees, but I mean, look, we've gotten used to these harsh conditions, and you know.
Well,
if only we could find houses there, affordable houses now.
No, that's true.
I know.
That's absolutely right.
Florida problem.
Senator, thank you very much for joining us on this Tuesday.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, thanks.